Release the Kraken!
Welcome back, fellow game designers. In our last video, we went ahead and made Leon's hand, and in this one, we're going to make Leon's face. Now, the face is one of the most difficult parts of a model to make, so this video will be broken into several parts. Today, we're going to start on the eye and the lips. So, let's not waste any time and dive right in. There are a few different ways to make the face, but I do prefer James Taylor's approach of using a cylinder. So I'll go ahead and hit that, and I will move that up to head level. Let's go into our front view. And then what I'm going to do with the cylinder here is I'll go to my poly cylinder settings, drop it down to 8 subdivisions, like so. And then I want to delete the bottom half. So I'm going to go to face selection, and then go grab that, and then hit delete. Let's go to object mode. And I'm going to take this and center the pivot. So right here, center pivot. Go into rotation. Hold down the J key and then rotate forward. We should have a nice 90-degree rotation. Let's go ahead and move that to about the lips. Let's duplicate that, Control D to duplicate, and I'll move this one over the eye. And while I'm here, I will select the body and just press H to hide it. And then let's save our project. I'll go to File, Save Scene As, and we'll make this Leon 6. Where are we at? Leon 6. Very good. Now the reason we're starting off with cylinders is you could make the head out of, a cube or a sphere or whatever, but at some point you have to cut in a section for the eye and for the mouth. And that can be more difficult later on versus building the rest of the head around those shapes, which is what we're going to do here. We're going to construct the mouth and the eye and then build the rest of the head around that. So let's jump on to the mouth here. Make sure we have symmetry on, and I'll go to vertex selection. And I'll grab the corners and just pull those out. And grab these guys, move those out. I want to be able to make the philtrum, which is that little divot in the lip here for that Cupid's bow, but I don't have enough material yet, so I'll just leave this here. Down here, I'll just move these out to here, and I'll frame the bottom of the lip. Now, to get a little bit more detail in here, I'm going to select the edges, so go to Edge Mode, and I'll grab these middle edges. Hold Shift, hold right click, come down to Connect Components. That's going to cut in a loop for us. It's pretty handy. And then I'm going to shape this for the interior portion of the lip. So I'll get my vertex selection, get my corners, I'll move them out. And then on here, I want to cut an edge loop through here down, but I got these angles in the way. So let's go to Edge Selection, and I'll get rid of these little crisscross angles. So I'll cut those and those. Now we still have our middle sections. We'll leave those in. I'll go up to Multi-Cut, and then I'll start at the upper corner of the mouth here in the middle, and I'll come down and just cut in like so, and then right click to solve that. And now I have enough geometry, if I go to Vertex, to start building the philtrum, the little snot slide. So there's the Cupid's bow. Let's move this down some. Now for men, we tend to have a flatter lip surface, so we don't have to be as pronounced for like the lip shape. So we can certainly flatten some of this off. So maybe not as much of a Cupid's bow. Pull these out to round out the sides. Round off that lip there. That looks pretty good. But I've been working really hard in the front. We need to work from the side. So I'm going to jump into my side view. I'll come over to here. And you can see that the position of the mouth is way back here. I'm going to go to Object Selection. And I'm just going to move that forward to about here. It's pretty good. Now, We're going to use Leon's side as the depth, but we're not going to deal with the height here, so it may look a little bit weird. To make this work for us, let's go into a 2 view. So a 2 view is very handy because it allows us to see both sides at the same time, which we're going to need. So right now we're in a 4 view. To change it to a 2 view, come over to your left panel. So here's your 4, here's your 2, hit the 2. So here's our 2 view, and I want this one to be a side view. So I'm going to go up to Panels, come down to Orthographic, and then Side. Very good. So now I can kind of see what I'm doing over here. And then to maximize my workspace, I'm going to go hit the little channel box to turn that off. And I'll also turn off my outliner. So click this. There we go. It's a bit bright for me. I wish I would have dimmed Leon a little bit, but it's okay. I'm going to go into vertex selection. And I'm going to select what I need from this side, but I'm going to move it from this side because I have no idea what I'm selecting over here. So I'm going to start off with my Cupid's bow. So I'm going to grab these. And then I'm going to use my move tool to move that forward. So I'm going to move forward about there. So not all the way, but just a little bit. And then I'm going to deselect the middle. So hit Q to remove my tool, and then hold down Control and just drag in the middle to deselect that. Hit W to continue moving, and I'll just move that forward. And just so I can see what I'm doing over here, let's go to Shading, and then X-Ray. There we go. It's a little bit softer on the eyes, and I can see where my geometry is. I'm going to take the next couple sections. So back here, these two. I'm going to move that forward some, probably to about there. I'm going to grab the corner of the mouth. You can see the corner is actually pretty good here, but I do need to take this part of the corner forward. So I'll move that forward some. Not too far. I think that's good enough. And I'll do the same thing for the bottom. So I'll grab these. I'll move those mostly all the way. And this time I'll grab the middle and I will pull that forward to round that off. Okay, so the bottom of the lip does not have a Cupid's bow. That one's all the way around. Up top we have that divot for the Cupid bow, and then the philtrum. And then I'll get these little side pieces. I'll move those. That looks pretty good. Awesome possum. Let's go into a perspective view. So I'm going to hit the perspective window here. Go into object selection, hit F to frame. And this is our mouth shape so far. Let's go ahead and save it. So here's our mouth shape so far. And you can see it's a bit extreme. So the reason I'm in the perspective view is I can help shape out this more realistically. So I'm going to go into edge mode here. I'll grab the edges that I think need to be adjusted. This could definitely come out and forward more. Maybe these can come over some. Maybe not so extreme on the Cupid's bow. Down here, I'll go to vertex. We can start adjusting these. So pull these out. Pull these out some more, just the upper ones. Pull them forward. Get these ones that are kind of pinched. I'll move those, move them forward. Just round out that shape a little bit nicer. And just check your model from different angles so you can see what looks really weird. So like up here, you can see this is very pointy. I'll just widen that out. Okay. Now I want to start creating the next section of the lip. So we have this upper part and the lower shape, but we need to have this fleshy part here. To make that, I'm going to select my edges. I'll double click this and I'll hit Q to get rid of that tool, and I'll double click again, and then I'll hold shift, double click again. So I'm holding shift as I'm double clicking to get this whole thing. And now I want to go ahead and bevel. So I'll hold shift, hold right click, and then I'll hit bevel. That's going to make the next part of the lip here. And now I want to start closing the mouth. So let's go ahead and remove this interior piece. I'll grab these, those, and those, and hit delete. It gives us a hole. Go into edge selection. I'll double click this. Hit extrude. And then I'll hit R. I'll scale this down. We want this to almost be touching. You can see that the front and the back lips are very far apart from each other. He's drawn like an anime character, so there's a big extreme distance between the upper and the lower lip. So I'm going to move this lower lip forward more. So vertex selection, grab all of that lower lip. Hit W, go ahead and move it forward some more. Let's check here. Perspective. You'll notice that if I go into my 4 view, my perspective and my side views are flipped. And that's just a result of using our 2 view. It kind of changed where those were. So I'm going to go up to panels and I'll just make this perspective. And this one I'll make side. Orthographic side. That way my my muscle memory of trying to go between windows won't trip me up. And then for these, we're going to line these up. I'm going to grab this one. I'll hold down the V key and then drag and snap. Grab that one, hold down V and then drag and snap. And then grab that one, hold down V and then drag to the middle. So we have this. Let's go ahead and just do some shaping. I'll grab these and just move them. Grab this one. I'll move that forward. Okay, let's go into edge selection. I'm going to double click this edge. And I want to move that forward. Kind of the whole thing. So move it forward some. Yeah. I want to widen it just a bit, so I hit my scale tool. And grab my left and right scale. Same thing for this upper one here. So this guy, let's move that out some. Double check positioning, and I'll move it forward some. There we go. Because we want the lip to kind of curve out and then back in. Let's get out of X-ray. And it's a little bit better. Okay. To open the mouth, we're going to go back down to vertex selection. And there's a bit of a trick to this. So if you hover your mouse over the vertex, depending on where your mouse is, depends on which one you grab. So there's a vertex on top. If I go up here and click, hit W, I'm moving the top one. If I go below it and click, I'm grabbing the bottom one. Okay, so if you have 2 vertices on top of each other, that's how you can grab them. I want to get all of the lower ones, so click, hold shift, click, hold shift, click. I want to move that down some. Okay. And then these I do want to move back. And then I'll do the same thing on the top. I'll get these. Let's move those back. Again, curving those lips in some. Go around these. I'll move these in just a little bit more. Whoops. These guys, I'll move these back. And then for the interior lip here, I'm going to go to edge selection. Now double click this line and I'll hit extrude. Hit W, and then move back into the mouth here. This is going to make the inside of the lip. I'll grab this weird corner. I don't need that to be that far back. And then to ease this transition, we're going to bevel. So I'm going to go ahead and grab this edge again, double click it, hold shift, hold right click, and then bevel. So now we have Leon's lips. So that'll do it for Leon's lips. In the next one, we're going to go ahead and tackle Leon's eyes. So stay tuned, save your work, and I shall see you next time. Hey guys, thank you for checking out my channel. Misty and I both thank you. If you enjoyed that video you just watched, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. Or if you want to support the channel, check me out on Patreon or pick up one of my books, Life and Times of Dinah and Marton, or The Guardian's Path of Ascension. Speaking of which, I'm converting The Guardians into a graphic novel / comic book series. Here is a sneak peek. My wonderful artist, Patrick, is doing a great job. I'm excited. I want to push this out as soon as possible. So definitely keep your ears and eyes open for that. I'll be making announcements as we get closer, and I'll post some shots of that as we go. And if you want to follow me on social media, you can check me out on Twitter. I guess now it's X. Who does that? It's BruceRF1 at Twitter, or at whatever the new thing for Twitter is. Anyway, hopefully see you there, and I'll see you guys next time.